Welcome everyone to another unique student spotlight. Today it's unique because we are interviewing three people, our very first graduating students in the BS in Artificial Intelligence. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Chitrangada Juneja. I'm a senior majoring in computer science and artificial intelligence with a minor in mathematics. Uh, I I hail from North India, but I'm settled in the South in Hyderabad. Some of the things that I enjoy doing outside of academics is baking. I bake a lot for my friends, and then I distribute those baked goods among them every month. And I'm also fond of running. I ran my first half marathon, in fact, in March, right here in Tucson.
Hello everyone, I'm Hidoyat. I'm a senior at the University of Arizona, double majoring with computer science and artificial intelligence. I'm from Uzbekistan, Khiva. Um, I'd like to do road trips and traveling when I'm not studying or anything. Um, yeah, that's pretty much about me.
Hi, I'm Stephin Tomson. I'm a senior majoring in computer science and artificial intelligence. I also have a minor in astronomy. I'm from Kerala, a state in the southern part of India. And my hobbies are I love playing guitar, I love singing, I also love skateboarding, and this also includes snowboarding. And as a fun fact, I'm an amateur musician and a photographer.
Thank you, all three of you, for introducing yourselves. I hope right away folks that are watching this recognize the fact that you all have various interests, that there isn't sort of this stereotype that you hear from social media or you see in society that computer science students are very introverted and only do like certain things and video gaming and all this stuff. You all have such wide interests in things outside of academics, and you hail from different parts of the world. It's very telling that our department has a large population of students that are globally oriented and come from various parts of the world. So you had a lot of options when choosing to pursue your undergraduate career. You must have looked at options outside of your home country, in your home country. I mean, there must have been so many different options. So what brought you to the University of Arizona? We'll start with Chitrangada.
Yeah, I primarily chose the U of A because of the opportunities that were presented. You not only do students get to work in undergraduate research, but they get to take classes that don't have to necessarily encompass your current major. For a very long time, I did not think that I liked mathematics, but then I took a lot of math classes here and eventually decided to minor in math anyway. So, and I took classes ranging from linguistics and to learning about Greek classics. And that for me was very important. Learning about things outside of my major was one of the many reasons that I decided to come here. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of dilemma for me as well to choose which university to pursue my degree on, because I have applied around like 50 universities globally and got accepted to around 40 of them. So I had broad range of universities to choose from. First, I have narrowed it down to United States because most of the CS majors here are focused on project-based classes rather than like abstract things, so that you can learn in practice while learning the lectures as well. Then, on top of that, I had done a thorough research on, especially my degree, CS degree, what they teach in the school, what programs they have, and stuff like that. And UFA stood out to me because of its in-depth research opportunities. It has a lot of opportunities for research, whether you are an undergrad or grad or even PhD or a professor. Everyone can find their own place in research. That's the point that stood out to me.
For me, there were two sides of the coin that I had to choose on. I was always enthusiastic about astronomy. So, to be honest, while choosing UOA, I did not just look at the computer science department and all the research that's going on, but I also did take into consideration what the astronomy department is capable of doing and what scope I have if I join the university. So that actually, so University of Arizona was a perfect balance between both of these. Some of the universities focused too much on computer science, some of the universities focused on astronomy, but UOB was the right balance, and I was pretty sure that I could get a lot of opportunities with how the departments are structured and from what I read. So that is the main reason why I chose UOB.
Thank you all three for sharing that. And it sounds like you all did your due diligence in looking at all the options and found what you really enjoyed about the University of Arizona and informing that decision. So it's wonderful to hear that you all were informed before you made your decisions. Now, all three of you are completing the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and the Bachelor of Science in Artificial Intelligence. Why did you select these majors? And on top of that, what does it mean to you to be the first students to have completed the AI program at the University of Arizona?
That's really insightful question. Thank you for that. Uh, Before coming to University of Arizona, when people ask me what you're gonna study in University of Arizona, United States, I was always saying I'm gonna study AI. I'm gonna study AI, even though the AI major itself was not even available at that time. So I had that anticipation of learning at least even if I'm not taking degree on it, taking some more classes in it and learning the basics of machine learning and AI. But luckily for me, in my junior year, I got the announcement from you through email that AI degree is coming up. And when I did my math, I was sort of able to complete it on time if I'm not going to sleep for the next 2 years, quoting from Sam's words. She was my advisor at that time, and uh, we did the scheduling and everything, and it turned out that I may be able to finish on time. So I took the opportunity and tried my best, and here we are, being the first cohort of AI measure. To answer your question, it was my like dream to begin with as well, and it came out to reality. So I'm really happy about it. And being the first cohort of AI measure, especially puts a lot of responsibility as well because we are taking, for example, AI capstone class here for the next generations to come. They might show it to them and like motivate them. This is what our first generation did. It's really happy and responsive.
Yes. For me, the main reason why I took computer science is very obvious. Again, I loved programming and I was into computers, and that seemed like the obvious choice. But AI, initially, that's again, just like you had mentioned, when when the major was not declared, I had no plans about it. But even though I was really interested in this segment and I was really looking into all the studies going on and all the new advancements in the technology, I really did not have anything planned. But then when the university started offering courses that were related to AI, and then when I heard that university might offer a minor in AI, I was a little bit interested in, okay, I might as well as take the classes, learn about those, and then get a degree along with it. And then yeah, I'm really proud that got a chance to be in the AI major, and I'm very proud to be in the first batch of students who are actually graduating with the AI major. I think it's something special, and it took a lot of effort and it was hard. It was never easy, but then I think it's very special to me. It's amazing. Yeah.
Just to echo already what Stephen and Hidoyat said, the AI major at first was a pipe dream. Like we were not sure if we would be able to finish it, and I was considering it as a major. But initially, I chose computer science because of a love for programming. In India, you get to take electives starting from ninth grade onwards, and my elective was always computer science. So it just felt natural to stick to it and pursue it further. But when I came here, I know through the classes that I took, as the levels of the classes increased step by step, I noticed that I had an affinity more for the theoretical part than just the coding part. And in my search for the classes to take, every semester I would come across courses that seemed really interesting, but I couldn't take them because, I wasn't perhaps a linguistics major, or I wasn't a data science major. So when the AI major was announced and I looked at the coursework that I could take, it was just another opportunity for me to take some of the classes that I had been wanting to initially. And that's one of the main reasons why I signed up to just study more, I suppose. And it means a lot to be the first batch to pass out with this major. I don't think it really occurred to me that we were the first course until the capstone project began. And as Stephen said, it's been a really hard road. I mean, I think for the past 3 semesters, I've been taking 400 level electives like crazy, just trying to cram in everything that I wanted to take. And yeah, it's been a long journey, but we've gone through this together. So I think it's been a bonding experience of sorts. And yeah, super proud.
That is really great. Thank you all for sharing the reasons why you're pursuing computer science and artificial intelligence, and the your thoughts on being the first. And I commend you all for being able to take on large course loads, not just only in sheer number, but also in the depth of which the content is covered is commendable. And so our department feels very fortunate to have been a part of your journey, and we're excited to see where you're going to go next. Now we talked about why you decided to pursue computer science and artificial intelligence. For this portion, I would love to hear more about your experiences now that you're approaching graduation. I'd like for you to reflect on your times here. What have you enjoyed most about your experience at the U of A in computer science? Maybe you can share a favorite memory or a story.
To start off with, what I have enjoyed the most is how the classrooms are oriented and how the programs are structured. Well, the credit goes to both the instructors and the students in it because I think after my sophomore year, I have been in multiple classes with groups and projects associated with them. So this has helped me like learn to work with people and even have fun while working. Learn about different group settings, have friendly competitions. At the same time, we also get to scrutinize each other's work. So it was a very fun experience. Especially, I like to point out CSC 335. I think that was my first class with the group project that was with Rick Mercer. He was an amazing professor. He was really funny. Uh, and the class was amazing. Everybody was excited to be in the class because we were just basically making a game and scrutinizing each other's work. We were in, I was genuinely enjoying what I was doing, and even that the professor was just making the class better with his jokes. And as a memory, and this is something that I would never forget in my life, I still remember the day when Rick Mercer walked in the door with walker in front of him, and he just declared, "I have two broken ribs, but let's resume class." A core memory for me from your weeks.
All right. One memory that came out to me immediately after you said your question is uh, one class in CSC 120. It's one of the fundamental classes that every CS major people take. So we were having a lecture about LinkedIn's. It was the first time me and my friends heard about the LinkedIn, and it's pretty difficult for first year students to grasp what it is because it's much of an abstract data type. So what we did was we sit in a circle and with our handing pointing out to each other, we kind of try to visualize how the LinkedIn's work in person, each of us being a node, and it turned out to be so funny and useful at the same time that we all learned how it worked, and like we never forgot about it. So it was really fun memory of mine from early days of my journey here at the University of Arizona. It's been really great both inside of class and outside of academics as well. Traveling a lot to mountains in Tucson was one of my core memories here. Mount Lemmon, A Mountain, Tomomik Hill, and everything. As I mentioned, I love traveling and road tripping. It was really great experience I had here.
For me, I've enjoyed interacting with people of different majors. Like my three closest friends are a business major, a neuroscience major, and an English major. And it's so much fun when we get together and we're talking about, for example, AI. And I'm talking about it from a technical standpoint, and they are able to talk about it from a different standpoint. So finding diverse majors in whatever class that you enter, especially when you're in the first 2 years, it's a lot of fun. And it's very interesting to see how people's perspectives are shaped by their journey here. A core memory for me would be running around UFA campus at like 6 a.m. It's nobody's there. It's completely silent, and all the roads that you know are going to be filled with walking students from one class to another. Everybody, their heads down, focused on where they're going, what their project that they're working on is, an umpteen number of things. But at 6 a.m., you can stand there and you can jog, you can walk around, you can watch the sunrise, and it's perfect. And I got to do that last semester for, I think, for a month at least, with nobody there. The temperature was perfect, so I'm going to take that away.
Thank you for sharing those memories of your time here and some of your favorite memories. And it's very telling that you were all focused on the bonds you've made while on campus, for the folks that maybe are majors from all over campus being in the same classes, or the faculty member that really had an inspiration on you, which brings me to my next question. Was there a faculty member that had a positive impact on you, and how so?
That's a great question. I love that question. For me, there have been several because I've dabbled in research and I was a teaching assistant within the department, both those things. So for research, Professor Lowenthal was the one who believed in me first. He was the one who spoke to Professor Debray, who's my supervisor. And I've been working with Professor Debray for almost a year now. And this semester, they offered an elective course called How to Teach Computer Science. Professor Melanie Lotz is teaching that. And she's been instrumental in helping me understand how education as a career could possibly relate to my aspirations to go forward with research in my journey to a PhD. So all three of them, I think, have been the core members of faculty who have really changed my journey in ways that I did not see coming in freshman year. Yeah.
Well, this is really a great question. At the same time, it's really difficult to answer because all of the professors, all of the faculty members, staff members had a lot of positive impact on our journey here. Advisors, coach advisors, career advisors as well as all of the professors that we took classes from. They have taught us a lot of things. But one professor that stood out to me right now when you were asking the question is Jason Merton, because he was teaching CSC 380, which is the fundamentals of AI machine learning class. The class itself was, at the time when I was taking it, it was really difficult by the material itself. It was really heavy in math and statistics and programming at the same time, but he made it super interesting and easy to follow, even if the material and everything was so difficult. At the final exam, when I was looking at my score, I got 97 out of 100, and that was uh, it felt like everything has paid off because following to every single lecture of his and trying to catch up in every material was really difficult because if you miss one lecture in that class, it was done. And he made it really useful and really easy to follow. That's why he came out to my mind immediately.
And as everybody repeated, it's really hard to point out one particular faculty, but uh, one faculty who has had the biggest impact on me and I think how I see and how I am who I am right now is Gus and Powell from Information Science Department. He's in the College of Information Science, the Linguistic Department. So I worked with him in my internship along with a partnership with the LR department, and I got to learn a lot of things on how or where I should be in the next 10 years. I got to see how I should envision myself to grow and what should be the path I set for myself. Gus was an amazing instructor, and he was my supervisor at the time, and he had amazing leadership skills. He gave me he helped me identify a lot of flaws in how I used to work and how to improve those. He also was a big inspiration for me. That actually motivated me to set high standards for myself on how I should improve in each iteration.
It's a great thing to hear as a staff member that faculty are having such a positive impact on our students. And I'm glad that you were able to all connect with a faculty member or two or three that really had a positive impact on you and help shape your experience. Now, what about your favorite class? Why did you enjoy that class that you pick as your favorite?
Again, I love your questions. Um, they're interesting and harder to answer as they go. Favorite class? Well, I would say CSC 444 was one of my most favorite classes because like I wanted to mention it because I don't think it might be favorite class for a lot of people. It's an elective class. It's not major required class. But when I took it, it opened a new realm of CS major by itself. Like it was a data visualization class. When I took that class, I figured that to pursue a career in CS, you don't really have to be really great on math or really great on programming. There are design side of things as well. And it was really great to find out that we, as a data science CS major people, we understand the data by looking at the numbers and the things, but the graphs, the visualizations make it a lot more easy to follow and reachable to other people as well. And it gave me some sort of idea of how to make use of your code, your skills to help other people in real life. And it was a really great class. That's why it's been one of my favorite classes here at the U of A.
An evolving journey, so I have multiple favorites. I like to mention two. The first one is Java Object-Oriented Programming, that's CSE 335, that was with Rick Mercer a while ago. I love the course because it of the class structure again, as I mentioned, with the how we interacted in between the groups and how we progressively made our program and the project was a fun experience. It was the first time for me, but then I genuinely enjoyed working and getting there. And the second class I like to mention is the AI capstone course that I'm doing right now, along with Chitrangada and Hidoyat. This has been an amazing journey and I've learned a lot from it. And there has been multiple aspects of this class that has been interesting, including how we interacted with the professors and not just the professors, but people outside the department to see how user experience and how other feedbacks and how to shape, how to make a product that is also useful for not just programmers, but then people who are out of this industry. So it was an interesting class for me because of multiple reasons. Yeah. So
Yeah, I took a couple of classes, a lot of classes as well. So I can shout out a lot of them, but I'll also stick to just two. So the first one that I'll talk about is CSE 422. That was with Professor Lowenthal. And that class, I think, was the first time that I took an elective, and it completely surprised me. So I knew that there was going to be C programming, and I was unsure of my skills in C anyway. But then the programming assignments themselves, the way that parallel computing works, all of those concepts were completely new. And you think by the time you're in junior year, you think there could possibly be nothing about CS that would be surprising. You know everything that the field could possibly throw at you. But that was a class where I was taken by surprise and I was shocked by how much I enjoyed it because if anyone who knows me as a programmer knows that I don't like C as a language. So yeah, that was one of them. And then another one that I'm taking right now, that's CSC 596. That's the elective course, How to Teach CS with Professor Lodz. And I really like that class because there's just nine of us. And it almost feels it's a very high school sort of an atmosphere where we're all just sitting together and we're discussing the readings and we're having talks back and forth. Sometimes Professor Lodz, she bakes just as I do. Sometimes she'll bring in treats that she's baked. It feels very informal, but at the same time, we're all seniors in that class, or we're masters or PhD students who are about to graduate or on the way. So everybody sort of has a sense of what they want to do in computer science, and they're in that class because they want to do something in education. And it's very refreshing to see their perspectives on how education is being shaped, especially in this new era with ChatGPT and Gemini solving our homeworks for us.
Thank you all for sharing your classes that you found to be your favorite. And the thing that I'm taking away from it is that you all had such wonderful experiences in those classes, learned something new, and sometimes it was surprising. Sometimes it was the person, the instructor that made that course successful. And maybe take a class with Melanie so she can bake some cookies or make some desserts for you. That sounds like a good idea. Desserts always make something great, so I think that's wonderful. You have all been actively participating and engaged on campus. Tell us about your activities and why you think it's important for students to get involved.
So to start off with, it's really hard to recollect all the activities I've been to, but I can guarantee that there has been a major chunk that has been professionally oriented for an example, hackathons, resume building into sessions and mock interview sessions and so on. And there has been the other side that is more oriented towards like the sports sides of things, boxing clubs, badminton tournaments, and even tailgating festivals. I love attending all these events, and I think these are really important because I think there are two major factors I think that makes it very important for all students to attend this. The first thing, a stress buster. The college can be really hard, and sometimes you need a break, you need to change the pace, and you need to take a step back. And these events can actually help you with that. And the second reason is because I believe when we go attend these events, we meet a lot of new people. We see diversity in these people. We meet not just in culture, but on how they think. And this is really helpful, and this is very important for us to understand the world around us. And I have made a couple of really good friends in multiple of these events, and who are really good friends of mine till date. And yes, I definitely recommend any student to attend all these festivals and all these activities in campus. They are worth your while.
So one of the many things that I've done is I've volunteered as part, and sometimes it's been part of coursework, sometimes it's just been independent. I think volunteer work opportunities are so many in the UFA. Like, for example, I've volunteered at the Festival of Books, it was so much fun. I mean, I showed up, they gave me a t-shirt and they sent me on my way, and I was sitting there in a room full of people willing to talk about books. And I love reading. So it was an enlightening experience, and it wasn't limited to just students. There were people from all walks of life there. And one of my volunteer opportunities also took me to Hotel Congress, where we were standing there in line, helping people, guiding them to the event where it was taking place. And it ran long. That event went on until like 10 p.m., but three students there and everybody around us drinking tequila. It was a mezcal event. It was a lot of fun, and you meet a lot of people. You meet people from different majors when you go and volunteer. Sometimes they're students who've just graduated, so we get to talk to them about their journeys. And I would encourage anybody who comes here, if it's free, you should do it for sure. You never know who you could meet. You never know where your interest might go, where your major might go if you talk to people from other places.
I'm delighted to say that I had an honor of have being on both sides of clubs and organizations. In my sophomore years, junior years, I was really active in hackathons, especially Hack Arizona, for example, here hosted at the University of Arizona. It gave me a lot of networking opportunities to work with complete strangers on your idea to come, and in 1 day time, you make it an MVP, working product. It was really great journey, and it taught me a lot of things about approaching people, working with people, working in a team, and everything. But I'd like to talk more about my last year as a senior. I've been to a lot of clubs. One of them is being a CS department ambassador, where we helped high schoolers, middle schoolers decide on their journey to come to whether or not to choose CS, whether or not to pursue it in the University of Arizona. It was a really great experience because being someone who has passed through this journey right now, like our advices are more relative compared to you can take advice from advisors and everyone as well, but being the recent graduate, it helped them a lot to get the view of how it's life at university. And next organization is I have been an officer at the Hack Arizona this year, moving from participant to organizing side of things. And last week, just last week, last weekend, we had our biggest hackathon. And it was really great to see how back end of things works, if you put the words like that. Being a being involved in all of this organizations events helps you to improve your soft skills as well, which are really important in current industry. You might know your technical stuff really great, but if you're not a team player, if you are lacking in communication, it may not really work on your future career. So uh, being active in this events helps you engage with people, improve your own skills, as well as having a really great points to add to your resume as well.
I like the common theme that I hear amongst all three of you, that it's important to get engaged and important to build a strong support network, whether that be volunteering, participating in research, or hackathons. It sounds like it's important to get involved in something that students need to make sure they do when they're here. Now that you're approaching graduation, tell me what comes next?
For me, I've been applying for jobs, of course, but I plan on applying for PhD programs, specifically in quantum computing, which is sort of the intersection of quantum mechanics and computer science, along with mathematics thrown in. So that will be happening later this year, but I'm excited. Applications have started to open and I've started to bring all those materials in. I've been talking to a lot of PhD students at the U of A, trying to get a sense of how they made their way here, what decisions they made, and everything. So it's a journey. It'll be a journey, but that's where I'm headed.
For me, I'd like to have a sense of industry first before pursuing with my studies so that I'll have a solid understanding of what the current industry is and what I need to learn to be more successful in that. That's why I'm going to work as an ML engineer for the next 3 to 5 years. I'm fully funded by my government, so I'm going to back to my country and work there as an ML engineer. And after that, I'm planning to continue my studies, whether in master's or PhD. I haven't decided on that yet, but knowing the current level of market and everything would be really helpful for me to decide what would be my next step of studies.
Again, for me, just like everybody mentioned, I'm really excited to graduate. And after this, I'm looking at opportunities for getting into a PhD program. I'm very interested in research and I'm very oriented in that way. At the same time, I'm also looking at the other side where finally I get a break from studying and I get to actually apply the concepts I learned. In the last 4 years, I never got a chance to actually use my knowledge and what I learned to actually put it to use. So I would love to get industry experiences like Hidoyat mentioned. I would love to start working on my own personal projects using everything I learned. I'm really excited for what's next to come as from now on, from the date I graduate, I'll have more time to work on myself. Excited about it.
Well, we're all excited to see what comes next for you all, and we hope that you're able to attain all your goals, both career-wise, academic-wise, and personal. Um, as some students may be watching this who are deciding on where to attend, for example, you all did your research on deciding to attend the University of Arizona. There might be a student or prospective student who's looking at this video to try to learn more about the University of Arizona. What advice would you give to that incoming student?
Um, I had the chance to talk a lot of high schoolers and middle schoolers about this exact question, being a CS ambassador here. So I would say have your expectations set up properly first, because incoming students, for example, let's say if they're majoring in math, they do know that it's going to be hard and they prepare themselves properly. But for CS, there is some sort of stereotypical thing that you type a line of code and boom, you get $1,000 for that. So it will become like that when you're graduating and when you are working in the industry. But the journey itself is, I don't say it's easy. So having your priorities and like expectations set up to pursue a hard degree, one of the hardest degrees actually, would help you a lot so that you'll track your progress accordingly. For example, if you are taking a class and you are struggling, it's much better to go to talk to professor or TA. We have a lot of amazing teacher assistants in every single classes of ours. They'll help you a lot. Like rather than struggling on the same exact problem for hours, you might get just one hint or like that one click from a TA or a professor that will help you a lot in your learning journey, and it will ease things out a lot more. And also, as I mentioned earlier as well, I would really recommend engaging in a lot of clubs and organizations. You can start as early as possible. For example, in our hackathon team this year, we had a freshman student. Well, when she started, it was her first semester ever. Like, she may not have a lot of experience, but she has learned a lot from juniors, seniors, and as well as the staff as well, which will help her a lot in her journey to come. And yeah, these are my basic advices for the upcoming students.
So, advices to incoming students, a lot of them. But to start off with, I think my first one should be exactly like it's told, set your expectations, make sure you're ready to work hard, make sure you're ready to critically think and like make sure you're willing to the effort to take one more step to judge your work, to reflect on what you did previously, and to always question on what you're doing. You need to always constantly think on what are you trying to do, what is your objective, and what have you achieved. This is, I think, one of the key fundamental things that this is one of the key fundamental rules that I follow while throughout the major, and I believe this will help incoming students as well. And one other recommendation I have for every incoming student is don't forget to take breaks. It can be really stressful at times, and even if it's just a day or even if it's just a couple of hours, just take a break. Sometimes you need to explore something that's new, something that's not computer science, something that doesn't make you think so hard, something that relaxes you. It's very important. It gives you a hard reset, and don't forget to take that break.
I echo everything that the two of them have said. But to add to that, I would say don't be afraid to try and try everything that you can get your hands on. There have been so many things that I've been scared to try. And once I've done it and gone through it, whether it's been a class or if it's been a competition, at the end of it, even if the result isn't what I wanted, I'm still proud of myself because I put in the work and I learned something new about myself. Just as an example, I never thought I would be interested in computer vision. Turns out the semester after I take the class, our capstone project is focusing on computer vision, is one of the main things. Then another new thing, and this doesn't extend to just being a freshman. It also extends through all 4 years. In my senior year, I never thought I'd be taking part in an entrepreneurship competition, but I did. And it was an experience. We didn't win, but it was an experience that taught me a lot about the things that go into starting up something like that. So try everything. Yeah.
For our last question, one that I think is important to note, even though you may be leaving the university, graduating as a student, you are going to be joining a very exclusive club of alumni. And so even though you are ending your undergraduate careers here, we will always consider you a part of the department. What are you going to miss most about being a student?
There is so much I'm gonna miss about being a student after graduation. Obviously, a lot of professors, a lot of friends, even the classes, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't like the class, but then maybe, hopefully. Okay. But to be honest, I think this is a core memory, and this happens every year for me. So during the finals week, the library stays open for 24 hours. And my friends and I have this habit of going there, sitting, and studying for the entire day. It's not because we have a hard deadline coming. It's also because the conversations in between the study sessions are fun. Staying up late is fun. Even it's because of the friends again. I think I will miss that experience. I will miss that experience of having a deadline, but still constantly struggling to make. So I think that's what I will be missing out the most.
I think I'll miss the camaraderie that you sort of build up within the department. When you're walking through Gold Simpson, you're going through those 3, 4 floors of computer science department. As by the end of the 4th year, if you've been involved enough with the department, you see familiar faces everywhere. And having that comfort and having that ease of just entering a building and knowing that you're going into a safe space where everybody is curious the same way that you are, I think that's a comfort that I'll miss. And it's even if I go for a doctorate, even if I study further, that special spark as an undergrad, that's not going to come back. Because when you're 18 and you're asking questions about the world, you have a very different outlook and you're open to a lot more things. And it's the conversation is far more alive when you're this young. So I'm going to miss that.
Well, I would say I have a lot of points to mention here. I'd like to name a few. First of all, I would definitely miss being a student itself as a whole as well. What I mean by that is uh, when I when I was first applying to universities or planning actually about having an university degree and so on, I was saying people don't need a degree in CS to pursue a major to pursue a career in it because everything, literally everything you can learn in a university is online publicly in YouTube or any sort of places you can learn online that. But what stood out to me is that you usually don't. When you are by yourself, even if everything is possible, you don't. When you are a student, there is a great community with you. For example, you don't just play around when you see people studying and grinding. That boosts you a lot into improving yourself, which I met by being a student, being in the community of likely-minded people. That experience will be the main thing I'll miss the most, I would say. And on top of that, especially being a UA student, UA campus, I'd say I'll definitely miss the sunsets, man. Like sunsets are a whole other topic here in Arizona. They are just magical. I'll definitely be missing those.
Thank you all three for sharing that. It brings a lot of joy to staff members when we hear that your experience was both academically challenging, rigorous, and fruitful, as well as that you were able to make those connections with folks in your classes, and that you'll take away those connections, and that you really had a great time here. It really does bring a lot of joy. So thank you all for taking the time to provide your responses, your reflections, and your thoughts. And again, congratulations on your upcoming graduations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.